Alright, y'all, so you asked for a longer video. Here it is. Just kind of want to show the tank. A little bit more detail, longer from the short. I've redone the island, or I should say restored the island a bit. Got some new plants on there. Really got the fog machine, mist machine dialed in. I really let some of these plants get out of control. They were completely grown up, immersed. The island looked huge, but it choked out all the other plants in the tank. So what I did is I ripped all of them up out the middle, allowed the grass to fill in more, which honestly I kind of felt was choking out the tank and making it look bad. But since I've allowed it to fill in more, it's looking good. Now for the water quality right now, it is pretty dog crap. It's very hazy and cloudy. That's only because I did just add literal chunks of soil and earth to the tank, so there's quite the influx of nutrients, so I'm having a little bit of an algae bloom. I also did a big water change. Now for this tank with all these plants, a big water change now, instead of consisting of 75% of this 200 gallons, a big water change is 20 gallons of water. And I got to do basically a 20-gallon water change pretty much 6 to 8 months. And it's not because of water quality issues. It's honestly more just replenishment of minerals and just kind of removing heavy debris as far as plant matter and things like that. But anyway, so it is hazy right now, having a little bit of bloom. It'll probably clear up in a couple of weeks once a lot of that dirt from that soil I added settles in. And currently, I do have a few species of fish in here, but kind of the primary main show right now, you don't see too many of them. They're still shy because they're newer, but I have a mix of albino tiger barbs and tiger barbs, regular tiger barbs. And when I'm kind of sitting still and in the back, it's really fun to watch them. I know it's hard to see with the glare, but they're extremely active and playful with the environment, which is what I've been having a hard time accomplishing with so much plant density. I have like some Florida flagfish in there. I see maybe once a month. They stay hidden, they don't move around a lot. Or I'd have other fish that don't want to react with the plants at all, so they just stay in this little limited open water space. The tiger barbs really pop in here as far as contrasting from the plants, but also with their activity. If you watch, they'll weave in and out of the dense, thick, mats of grass. They'll swim through the open in groups and school up. They do laps through here. I mean, they really, really play well with the tank. So again, I'm just gonna do a little bit of walking around, kind of show the tank as a whole. I love the way this mist kind of reacts. So when I walk by the tank or I toss food in, it's just another dynamic. The fern and some of this older, the peace lily, the giant hydrophila, the mix of ferns. All this is established island. It's very well rooted in. It's doing great. A lot of this is new plants. They're all kind of loosely placed, and eventually they'll anchor in with their roots. And again, I've really let the grass take over the tank, but it's in a good way. I have a change of textures as far as plant types just kind of sprinkled throughout. You can see in here, and they help highlight areas. So even though the tank is completely slap full and there's not a lot of swimming space, you still get that feel of you're not just seeing a wall of grass. And I'm probably about due again. A month ago I went and pulled all this stuff that's close to the glass, and what I started doing is I simply just reach in, pinch it, and pull all this bit probably about that far back off the grass and keep it just low. and it adds that perfect that kind of look, or that look of scale, where it doesn't just look like everything's right up on it. It looks like you're coming into it. Finally, we'll look at this back side. So this is still my least developed side as far as the scape and the view. And part of that is simply because this is where I hide all my equipment. There's my filter return and intake. I got my algae scrubber. I've had you know, all my tubing, heaters, everything. It sits back here behind the island. For those of you that have never seen how I built the island, that's some of that substructure that's finally come through. That used to be on the very top. The roots are well into it now, you know, holds everything in place. All's well and good. But anyway, again, here's another look. You can get a look at the sand. That's that white beach sand. Maybe eventually I could to show how the wood holding up on the bottom. For those of you that don't know, the bottom of this aquarium is a resin coated plywood. I was told it would leak, it'd be issues. Here we are 7-ish years later, still good, no problem. But anyway, that's kind of a quick rundown of that. So here's the side view. This would be my least favorite view, my least common view, kind of my maintenance area. You still get a cool peek though, kind of into things. Now this over here used to be my main view, my favorite view, kind of where I set the tank up to look, but now I'd say it's more of a secondary view. And then now, like, my new favorite view as far as just the scape and everything working. I hate it's kind of hard to see because you got the vivarium over here, casting glare, but you just kind of make it out. I got these open areas where it really kind of, the scape just goes deep into the tank. The fish like to hang out in those spots. Feeding time is a joy to watch from here. And this is kind of, while I'm sitting here, this is similar to how I see it. Unfortunately, you know, these things never translate well into a camera view. But yeah, I'm hoping after a month or so, you know, on the long side, maybe sooner, this water will be cleared up again. You know, it stays tea colored from all the driftwood, but it was absolutely crystal clear before I added these new plants. Once it clears up, we'll get a good look at it. I'll maybe be motivated enough to do another video. If y'all got any questions, you know, throw them out there. I'll try my best to answer them. Take it easy.